What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of 27 in Q alongside the well-traveled, the big man, once again on the road, hugging babies, kissing babies, all over the place, the two-time Super Bowl champ from the New York Football Giants, number 27, Brandon Jacobs. I'm Rich Quinones. There he is. That's what we
I'm
wanted.
here.
He's like a
I'm here.
politician. He's out there among the little people doing his thing. He just flipped the camera, showed me a little MetLife, which if you go right down the Turnpike 95 Saturday night, Giants Eagles divisional playoffs, you probably couldn't have asked for a better scenario. But big man, always good to catch up with you. I see you making the rounds.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to make the rounds and trying to let everybody know why the Giants will win this game coming up here on Saturday. It seems like so much. I've seen this already. I've seen this thing done as a 6 seed. I've seen the 1 seed get beat by the 6 seed in a divisional round.
Yep.
Right across the way, some years back. I just think the New York Giants is playing good football. I think they're playing good defensive football. Daniel Jones absolutely knocked it out the park, last week. But again, no one's giving Minnesota credit for their defense now. No one's going to give them credit about, they won 12 games this year, like Minnesota, 11 to 12 games. And now you come up and play against the New York Football Giants at home in a wild card round and get beat. And now no one's giving you credit. No one's giving you credit for going in there and getting a win.
I agree.
It is what it is. You got to line up and play.
Listen, I agree 100%. You go on the road. The Giants go on the road against a team that I think the mark of a good team. And Minnesota, by the way, 13-4 this year. So they win a lot of close games, but yet the Giants go in there. They like to make the game ugly. Their offense was almost flawless. They punted late in the game. Aside from the Slayton drop that you get a little nervous watching, the defense made the adjustments. They made the plays. We'll get to the Eagles in a second, but I want to go back to that win on the road against Minnesota because I thought it was a collective team effort. And I pointed this out. When you have guys out there, Flott made the big play on third down. McKinney made the tackle on the tight end on the check down by Captain Kirk. Get out of here, Captain Kirk. And then you had a guy like Kenny Golladay, right, who I've dogged. I've crushed dogged him. And what does he do? He realizes I'm not going to get targets. I'm going to mentally be engaged and stay in the game. And then he's going to make a great block on a Saquon catch and run to keep the sticks moving, right? I mean,
destroyed him.
And isn't that coaching, though? That's getting guys to buy in no matter what your role is.
Absolutely. And I think that's what, Dave's want. He wants guys to buy into what he's selling. And, I don't think it'd be hard to buy into what he's selling, man. He's such a vibrant, young, vibrant guy to get out there with with the players. I mean, I don't think it's hard, man. And I think now Golladay is really understanding that there's more to the game than getting targets. And he's definitely, he's done well, the last week of the season, obviously. And he's done well against Minnesota in the Minnesota game blocking. I just want him to come alive and give us, what we all been waiting for him.
But you have to get the targets, right? And he might not be implemented in the offense in that kind of fashion. He might be out there, but you can't even say he's a decoy because he really hasn't been productive. If it's Jefferson out there, it's a different animal. Daniel Jones, 24-35, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought his legs were going to be the factor. I said plus 65 yards. He ran for 78, I believe, made all the right throws, all the right decisions. The offensive line held up. It might be a different animal against the Eagles on Saturday night. But I think this kid, after Indianapolis and then after this game, I don't even call him Danny Nichols anymore. He's not Danny Dimes. He's not Daniel Jones. He's Danny Dollars. I think now after this game, whatever happens Saturday night, this man has earned the bag. He is the franchise quarterback of the New York Giants. You would say yes on that, correct?
Absolutely. I would definitely say yes on that. He's playing, he's playing good football. And again, he's not doing what, Rich? He's not turning the ball over. And he's being productive. All we need is him to be in the plus with no turnovers. And we need the team to play penalty free. We got a chance to beat anybody.
But does he have what you're looking for? Does he have the swag factor? I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
calling
no,
you
no, no,
out
no. He
for
don't. He
your.
don't. He doesn't have the swag factor. But Eli Manning didn't have the swag factor either. That's not what it is. I'm just talking about quarterbacks. Since you're gonna take it there, Rich, about my Purdy's comment. Okay, who would I pick out of
Daniel Jones,
no,
Brock
no, it
Purdy.
was Daniel Jones. No, it was Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott. I said right now at this time, I understand momentum and swag and being hot. I do understand it. So Brock Purdy is that guy who steps in as a third string quarterback, steps in and takes his team to the divisional round of the
Yeah,
playoffs.
12 in a
He's
row.
the
Yeah.
guy who's done that, right? The guy has tremendous swag. He's a fan favorite. That's why I said that. But is he better than Daniel Jones? Hell no, right? He's not better than Daniel Jones. I don't believe that. But everything, the momentum and what they had with him behind center, it counts for something. They have done really well with Purdy behind center, man, and it shows.
It's coaching too. You lose Lance, you lose Jimmy Garoppolo, and you go to an unheralded rookie, right? That hasn't lost a game, and it seems like forever. Might be a different test against the Cowboys. All right, so you mentioned familiar ground. Everyone's making drawing these parallels, 2007, and the run in 2011 with the Giants, and you can go on the road, and I believe all that. What I can't subscribe to when someone says, well, they haven't beaten the Eagles in so long, and you know this. The link has been a house of horrors for the New York Football Giants. It's just been a horrible house of horrors. Even when you go back to Tiki's last year, the wild card game, you go back to the other games, you go back to 2008, which we've talked about, which, let's be honest, if Plaxico doesn't have the incident, you guys are repeating. You guys are repeating. No one's beating you that year. So that's been the bugaboo, the nemesis. But those are different teams, different animals, different years. All I know is what I see in front of me, and the film doesn't lie. And my gripe is when they say, well, it's a nice little story with the Giants right now, but we're past that. A nice little story was beating Tennessee to open up the season, storming out to that 6-1 record, clinching a playoff, going on the road now and beating Minnesota. There's legitimacy to that. And I feel as though people are still looking at this team like, hey, man, you can't win in Philly. They've owned you for 20 something odd years, the last 10 at Link, and don't even show up. Like, why even show up? And it bothers me. I want to get your thoughts on that as a player that's been there before. And also, do you even buy into this notion? Well, they've owned us for so many years and we're just due. Like, to me, it doesn't resonate with me.
What do you have to lose when it's like that? What do you have to lose? They've been kicking our ass for the last 15 years. What do we have to lose? And let's just go out there and play and leave it all on the field. What do we have to lose?
Yeah, but what's the definition? But what's the definition of house money? Like, house money is basically saying you're just happy to be there. Just throw it out there and see what happens. I get the sense you've lived it, man. When you guys went on the road and beat Tampa Bay, did anyone say, well, now they're playing with house money? So your expectation going into Dallas and taking on the top seeded Cowboys, who were 13-3. Did you guys sit there in the locker room on a Thursday, Friday, and then on a flight, and then game time? Yeah, we're just happy to be here. We're playing with
no. What we did was went back. So we went to watch the film from Tampa that Monday. We might have watched film on that Tampa game, 15 minutes maybe, and we immediately went back because Coach Coughlin was the guy who liked to draw stuff and see stuff and go back through the whole game. If this don't happen, if that don't happen, we beat these guys both times. So we had turnovers. We had a lot of penalties. We had all of this stuff facing Dallas the first two times. When we played them here in Jersey, the last time that we played them, we had an absolute shit show on the field. We act like no one knew where they were going. We had turnovers. We had like 18 penalties or something like that for like 300 and something yards. Coach Coughlin went back, and if we don't do this, we're in this game. So he went back and looked at that, brought it like, damn, he's right. And versus laying down because they beat the crap out of us the first time around, and then the second time around they beat us. It wasn't that bad, but they beat us. They won. So we didn't lay down. We simply went back in there, and played them in a divisional round, and quite possibly, to me, to date, right now, is the New York Giants, in my era, the New York Giants' best playoff win to date over the Super Bowl, over both Super Bowls, because we got a division foe, the Dallas Cowboys, who beat you twice. They are sitting at the #1 seed. We're 6th seed. We go in there and we take care of business against a team that handled us twice,
Yeah.
pretty easy. So look at it's some similarities there. It's some similarities there. Dallas hadn't beaten us as much in a row as Philly has beaten us in the past. So it was a little bit different there. And then our team was a little bit different. The make of our team is a little bit different. But I still think and believe that since they say we're playing with house money, well, let's make more house money. Let's take this house money. Let's take this 1 week of house money, make it 2 weeks of house money, and go into San Francisco or Dallas and kick their asses in the NFC Championship game.
It's an interesting point you bring up, because I remember, I think the first week you gave up 38 and 35 to Green Bay in 07. You gave up a lot of points. Eli was throwing for a lot of yards. And then, as you alluded to, the adjustments. So this notion, right, when you talk about trying to beat a team 3 times in one season, I think teams are 15-9 over that span over the last several years. This is what I've tried to convey to people. The Eagles are a really good football team, man.
No question.
You can't dispute that. But they're banged up. Their quarterback hasn't really played meaningful football in about a month now, okay? The Giants, conversely, they didn't have Williams the last time. I don't believe they had Olajulari. I don't believe they had Adoree Jackson. McKinney, Bellinger was out. They got squashed in that one game by 48 points, whatever the Eagles put up. And then the second time around, the backups played well. I again, my opinion, I can't equate it to 2007 with the Pats. I can't. But be that as it may, the whole hard to beat a team 3 times in one season, it seems as though people are just kind of, and you're sitting here saying, well, wait a second, I lived it. It can be done. So what's the path of victory for the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, there's two. In my opinion, there's two. Okay, let's go offensively. Keep the Eagles out of your backfield. The Eagles lead the league with 70 sacks. The record is 72. So keep them out of your backfield. If we get down 10 points and it's the third quarter, they coming. They're gonna make us one-dimensional, and they're gonna make Daniel Jones have to be the one to beat us.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to have to be there. I don't want him to have that type of pressure on him. I want to be able to implement. I want to go ahead and be able to implement every part of our offensive game plan to be able to win this game. Okay, keep them out of the backfield. And number two is the opposite on defense. Get to Jalen Hurts. He's banged up. He hasn't played in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, somewhere around there. His shoulder isn't necessarily all like all the way healed yet. So I think if we can get back there and get some hits on Jalen, I don't think he's going to be running like he's normally running in the past. I don't think he's going to want to get touched. I don't believe it. So, but I will say he's going to line up and he's going to play, and he understands it's a playoffs, and he understands he got opportunity as a starting quarterback to go to the Super Bowl. Being the best team in the NFC. So I think if we keep them out of our backfield and we be more into their backfield and just win the trenches, I think we'll be good.
If they know that they watch the Minnesota film and know that Jones is going to be able to run, Saquon got off the other day. The offensive line, for the most part, did a really nice job. We know about the bookends, right? Neal had some issues this year, but Thomas has been, that offensive line has to hold up, right? Because these unheralded wide receivers who have really just come on, Hodges, Richie James, Slayton, the drop aside, Bellinger, they're all unheralded to some extent. If they can't get separation, then that's pretty much good night, because the Eagles are going to stack the box and say, we're going to take away the run, we're going to take away the RPO, and Daniel Jones's biggest strength is athleticism and his legs. If that happens, can you see offensively where the Giants start to roll him away from harm's way, get him moving out of the pocket a little bit, maybe screen passes, bubble screens, get the ball to the playmaker's hands, i.e., the Hodges, the Richie Jameses, the Saquon Barkleys, if the Eagles blitz is really starting to knock on the door here?
I mean, I think with a lot of Daniel Jones' ability to move the pocket and buy time, I think this is going to be. I wish they would come in, play 8 men in the box, and play man outside. I think our receivers are. I think we're good enough to win some of those battles. Now, maybe we're not going to win all the battles, right? It's almost impossible to win them all because it's a professional football. He's a world class athlete. You're a world class athlete. But I think we can. I think we can take advantage of some reps and win when need to be won. To kind of make them back up a little bit. They're not going to let Saquon beat them. That's not going to happen. And they're not going to. And like you said, they're not going to let the RPO with Daniel Jones beat them. They're going to play man on the outside, stack the box, and they're going to take their chances. I just want the Giants to take their chances when those opportunities come to play. Playing man all over the field. I don't see that working. We should be able to exploit that and be able to get them to make adjustments and change their game plan throughout the game.
And rest assured, they're going to be aggressive too, fourth and short. They realize in a game like this, every possession counts, right? So you look what transpired against Minnesota. You go for it on 4th and 2 a couple of times. You want to pin them back on their heels a little bit. And then conversely, defensively, I think the X factor, I think the disruptor in this game is Sexy Dexy. I think Lawrence can wreck the game. And if he's not wrecking the game, he's going to have other players, i.e. Thibodeau, have some opportunities to make some plays. And B, the secondary is different now. McKinney and Jackson are back. That's a whole different animal. So you're going to try to blanket Brown and Smith. And if the Giants go in the fourth quarter down by 6, down by 10, I think that's
they're going to win the game. They're going to win the game, I think, because 10 is a stretch, but 6, I think we can still win. Granted, it's only 4 points. But I think the Giants play man. I do. I believe the Giants. I think Adoree Jackson follows Brown. I think he follows him all the way around the field. He follows him. He covers him. He's there. You shit, I shit. You piss, I piss. You eat, I eat. Your wife feeds you, she feed me. Like, I'm here with you, bro. Like, where you going? If you driving, I'm in the passenger seat. If you're in the back, I'm in the back with you. Adoree Jackson, I think, is going to do a good job there. I think it's a different game, a different ball game, a different team in a different part of the season. And like I said, I got the Giants winning it, man, 28-24.
How about the tight ends? Because historically, tight ends absolutely destroyed the Giants. I mean, it doesn't matter who they're playing. And Hawkinson, it's funny, you think about it, this kid was traded from Detroit, had a monster game. Is that a product of some of the schemes that they're doing defensively? Is it a product of just a really good tight end that can get open? Because Dallas Goedert is a really nice tight end. I mean, he's definitely top 4 or 5 in the NFL.
I think that with tight end play, I think it's more of a play call. Like a tight end is a mismatch every week for everybody. And if you have a good tight end, you almost have a good chance to be one of the top teams in the league. I say that because you bracketed coverages and you get guys in position to be in areas and landmarks, right? But a lot of that stuff don't count for tight end, especially when they're attached to the line of scrimmage, right? When you detach them and put them in the slot, it's a little bit different. But when you attach them, it gives you another style of play, which is running the football and are still throwing the football the same way. So the tight ends, in the seam from the right seam to the left seam side, he has that big area open in there. So that's going to change the Giants, being able to put Adoree Jackson or Brown the whole time if the tight end play kills us. I mean, it's going to be hard to cover. It's going to be hard to stop. But me, myself, I say go man all the way around and blitz and get pressure on Jalen Hurts and get some hits on him.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So, he's coming in the game banged up, someone asked him about, hey, if there's a bounty on you, pardon me. When you're banged up, there's always going to be a bounty on you. How do you limit him? How do you limit him from doing damage with his legs?
You have to go. I think that here's what I think. I think the Giants should play a 3 down front. I think they should get a defensive lineman out of the game, right, and bring in an extra defensive back. Maybe a third, another safety.
Maybe a guy like Collins.
You spy Jalen Hurts. You do not let him go anywhere. Your only job is to spy Jalen Hurts, and if you got an opportunity to go, go. If that thing opens up and you're looking at him waiting for him to go, you have to go get him. You have to go for the sack at that point. So I think that's the way. I think if you get another DB on the field They play a 3 down front and just try to get after them with, with some different some different type of pressures, and spy Jalen with Landon Collins. I think that would, I would say eliminate him. I kind of take his production down a little bit.
And the kid Holmes has played well. Pinnock will be back. The kid Flott made the big play on third down. I do want to ask you the rivalry itself, right? I mean, knowing that a team has absolutely flat out owned you for the last decade, man, I still, for me, one of the most painful losses was that 2008 divisional game, man.
Terrible.
The long punt return by Ahmad, and you guys, the Eagles buckled down, and you had to settle for 3, and that just killed the whole momentum.
Killed us.
Yeah.
Back-to-back champs, man. Changed it forever. We couldn't do it. Yeah, it sucked, man. It was a really good football team, and but they go to show you, like, you are a good football team. We had great players on our team, but still, one man made a difference, man. And because that one man made a difference on our offense, like he was the glue to us. To either you're gonna go out, or you're gonna stop Plexico, or you're gonna come back, and you're gonna stop me and Ahmad. You got to make up your mind. You couldn't do both. And we're losing him. It was this, okay, we're gonna go ahead and put 8 men in the box, play man on our side, and not dare you to run.
And you're saying that win against Dallas in 2007, in your mind, bigger than those two?
Both. Yes.
Is this your disdain for Dallas coming out, or just
no? It's just a team that is a divisional foe, who I hate, and having them at their best, Rich, at their freaking best in the NFL in 2007, the number 1 team in the league outside of the Patriots. They were number 2, right? To beat us twice, once here and once there, to come in and go there and beat them in a divisional round, to put them out and watch us play the rest of the season. It was nothing like that. It was the best. It was the best shit ever. And this is the same type situation.
That was that's my quarterback game, and I think they're still trying to replace that screen.
Yeah, I love T.O. T.O. was an astronomical athlete, but that was funny.
No, I don't, and you fired the ball at the play clock.
Play clock. I tried to break every bulb in there. I tried to break every light bulb in there.
Man, I'll tell you, that would be a hell of a win Saturday night in a hostile environment.
What? It's just gonna be like, I'm coming back if that happens. So I'm gonna be in California with Rich Sawyer, coach, start to coach NFL big collegiate bowl with guys who are trying to go to the NFL, and I'm coming back here when they beat them. They will have the San Francisco 49ers. I'm hoping that next week we go to the NFC. And listen, if the Giants go to the Super Bowl, I'm coming back to New York, and I'm gonna throw the biggest party in the stadium that MetLife has ever seen.
Would you say the Eagles were oiled up and shaved, ready to go?
They are. I could say a little bit different now that we have. I'm on, but
yeah, because
they're oiled up, and I said over there that they were waxed and ready to go. But I'm gonna say here with 27 and Q that they are oiled up, they are Brazilian waxed and ready to be fucked. Let's get it, baby. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. There's no words. There's no filter on this show.
They got a nice Brazilian wax. They got all around the lips, so it's nice time to get in there.
Do the damage and do the work for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
Let the dagger do the work.
Yeah, for 4 quarters. Oh man. What score are you looking at?
I'm looking at I'm gonna say 28-24. Giants.
That's fair enough. What it's funny too, because why is it the talking heads will sit there, and when a quarterback like Daniel Jones is playing poorly, it's all on Daniel Jones. But then when the quarterback like Daniel Jones plays well, it's Daniel Jones and the team. That kind of shit annoys the hell out of me. That's got to end. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if people are going to sit there and say, oh, Minnesota wasn't a very good team, then what are they saying about Tampa Bay and what Dak did the other day? And I'll give him his credit and I'll give him his juice. He played well, man, but Tampa Bay stinks. So the narrative is he saved his career, changed the narrative. And then with the guy like Daniel Jones is, well, guess what? It's really not about him. It's about the team. Come on, man.
People, that's why Coach Carson always said, anything outside of this building and outside of this fence, he can give a shit about any of them because they don't know. They're gonna always make things, something to fit their narrative, right? They're not saying that Tampa Bay won the worst division in football, but now Dallas is so great because they went scrub them. They won't say it's just people have their stuff fixed up the way they want it, and we will never get the respect. Daniel Jones will never get the respect. It is what it is. So now we just got to go out and continue to earn it.
Did you have more enjoyment playing in Dallas or Philly?
I had more enjoyment in playing in Philly because Philly was rowdy. They were nasty. I was rowdy and I was nasty, so it made it that much more fun. I like playing in Philly, man. I like the Philadelphia fans. I really do. I like them, like I do. But I wouldn't go to the game as a spectator without being on the sideline because I end up in jail. But I like Philly fans much better.
You ever bark at anyone?
Oh yeah, bark everything. I've done some of everything. I threw a couple middle fingers out. I done some stuff, man, and they done some stuff. They threw water at me. I threw water back at them. Like I love Philly fans, man.
Eli said he might have to make his return. He said he'll never go back there, but he said he might have to make the return Saturday.
Eli better be in a box. He better be in a box. I hope now. See, now he's gonna make me go to the game because he want to go, and I gotta feel like I gotta do my old thing and protect my damn quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's messing with you.
Oh,
I don't think you have to worry about that.
You never know with them crazies, man.
Well, like you said,
You never
man,
know.
Trim them up, shave them, whatever the analogy. You think Brady's done?
No, not on this. I mean,
You don't?
ooh,
So I
Tom
equated
Brady,
it. Go ahead.
Tom Brady has gotten a divorce.
Yeah.
So he's lost his wife, and being an everyday dad in the same household with his kids to come back and play to end this season the way he did, I don't think he's willing to lose that stuff and in his career like that. So I think he'll be back, and I think he'll be back with the Rams.
The Rams?
Mm-hmm.
Not Vegas, not Miami. Tampa Bay, I think he's done. They fired Leftwich. I equated to he's almost like a shot fighter where you watch him, but he'll show you something, but the film won't lie. Like you'll know you're done when the film doesn't lie, right? You watch it and you see it. He made the throw to Evans to show that he had the vintage, but he made some bad picks. They're not a very good team. The Rams is a very out of left field type of
No, it's not. It's Los Angeles, California. We talking about Tom Brady.
So then that means Stafford's going to have to retire.
Or go to Las Vegas.
Well, I think that's. How about Miami?
They're not getting rid of Tua.
I don't think. Man, the ego, this, the ego is everything. Like I'm watching the game the other night, it reminded me of Marino's last game where the Dolphins lost 62-7 to Jacksonville when Jimmy Johnson was the coach. I'm watching Brady the other day. They're getting smacked around all over the place. Part of me says there's no way he goes out like that. And then the other part of me, I almost wish he would have retired a couple of years ago when they would have won in Tampa. Now, it doesn't affect his legacy whatsoever, but I don't see how he comes back to Tampa. They got rid of Leftwich. Bowles is not a good head coach. They're going to kind of implode those coordinators all over the place. You probably want to go to like a team that's ready-made, so to speak. So yeah, you're right. I mean, hey, you never know. You might not discount those two teams. I think logically, Vegas. I'll give you another team. What about San Francisco? So Trey Lance, by the way, you might be right. So Trey Lance tweeted something the other day. I think it was the Titans hired a new GM, and he retweeted like either clapping or fingers crossed, and it's interpretive. Maybe he wants out of San Fran. They might want to trade Garoppolo. You still got Purdy. What about Tom Brady kind of turning around? And that's a team that he grew up rooting for.
Well, Trey Lance, I'm going to say this. I don't think there's room in Nashville for him. I mean, it's not. I mean, so he can send the clap hands and all that stuff if he wants to. That's fine. But he's going to be over there backing up Jimmy G again next year. And no, Tom Brady is from. I think he's in Northern California, isn't it?
He is. He grew up a 49ers fan.
No, I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think he's trying to finish his career there. I honestly believe that Tom Brady will be in Los Angeles, man.
All right.
I honestly believe that.
So you got the 49ers against the Dallas Cowboys. We saw what Dallas did against Tampa. We saw what San Fran did against Seattle. Right now, that line, San Fran's laying 4 at home. I know everyone's trying to discredit San Francisco's defense. I'm not buying into it. I think they have more depth, and offensively, they're more balanced, even with this young kid. I do like the 49ers at home against the Cowboys.
I like the 49ers at home against the Cowboys as well. I'd rather play the 49ers than the Dallas Cowboys.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. I think Dallas is strong, man. I do. I think Dallas is strong. I think like, even though they have Dak as quarterback, right? They have some dynamic, prolific players on the offensive side of the ball with 2 good running backs that can get it done. You got CeeDee Lamb who can come out and can catch for 200, and go 8 for 200 with 2 touchdowns anytime. I don't know. I just don't want to play against the Cowboys.
San Fran's loaded too, man.
Defense. San Fran is loaded, but San Fran is going to be loaded right in front of you. Right in front of you, they're going to be there. Like, I don't think San Francisco is going down the field much. They got Debo. They got Debo, who's the yak, who's the yak king. Right, you got a running back catching the ball, in space and making right. Yeah, I'll take that without chance to just to make a tackle versus CeeDee Lamb trying to get behind the defense, and Gallup trying to get behind the defense, and you got 2 running backs coming out the backfield. I don't want to play against the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, fair enough. Jacksonville against Kansas City. Jacksonville comes back from 27 down. That was a huge choke job, man. I mean, I don't know how that head coach still has a job with the Chargers. Now they got Kansas City just rested. Kansas City's 9.5-point favorite at home. I don't see, unless Kansas City plays as poorly as Buffalo and Cincinnati did in their respective games, I don't see how Kansas City at home, after what transpired last year in the playoffs, turns around and they lose this game. I don't.
If you can't see it, Rich, if you cannot see it, listen to me good. If you cannot see that happening, then open your eyes, because the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to Kansas City, Missouri, and they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Not happening.
Okay.
There's 2 things. There's absolutely no way Kansas City at home with their weapons after what transpired last year is going to lay an egg. I think it's recency bias. I think you're looking at what Jacksonville did about a mentally soft as you can friggin' be Chargers team that couldn't get out of their own friggin' way. All you have to do is make 1 stop defensively or convert 1 third down. As much as I like the long flocks of Trevor Lawrence, I'm not subscribing into that. No. So you know what? The Duke is flated up. My confidence level is high with Kansas City. Give me a score then. Go ahead. Fire away.
I'm gonna go 34. I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 30. Let's go 34-24. 30.
By the way, that's a horrible job by you, blasting Jacksonville in August and September on 27.
I know, but they made me eat my words. I gotta give them credit. I'm rolling with them from here on out.
Now, you know what you remind me of? You know those little doors in the mall when you walk in and then you turn around, the little turnstile?
The revolving door.
There you go. There you go. Exactly.
Holy shit.
And then Cincinnati and Buffalo, both teams leaking a ton of oil, man.
Buffalo. But I think Buffalo is playing for something.
I think there's more pressure on Buffalo than Cincinnati. Cincinnati got to the Super Bowl last year. Buffalo has aspirations of getting to the Super Bowl, and Josh Allen has not played particularly well. Now, I know he hasn't lost at home in the playoffs, but man, there's something about Cincinnati and Burrow, man. You talk about a quarterback with swag. That dude has swag. Purdy has the S, but he doesn't have the wag. Joe Burrow has SWAG. He's got the whole swag.
Purdy has a better following than any quarterback in the National Football League, man. I'm telling you, guy's young. I'm just telling you, man. Like,
It's very relevant.
guys like Purdy is who people want to see, man. I'm just telling you.
Because it's a great story. He's not highly touted. He's Mr. Irrelevant.
Right. He's Mr. Irrelevant. He's not highly touted. And guess what he's doing? He's getting it done.
What? Burrow hasn't? Josh Allen hasn't?
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from those guys. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just telling you right now, Purdy is the guy that people want to see. I'm telling you.
All right. So who do you like in Cincinnati and Buffalo? Buffalo was your Super Bowl
I'm
pick?
going Buffalo. All
right. By the way, my two teams are out. Minnesota, which I had no problem with, and the Chargers.
Well, guess what? My two teams are still in.
Yeah. You'll change your tune next week if the Giants are playing the 49ers.
I will. But right now, the San Francisco 49ers going to the Super Bowl. That's my pick. That's my pick. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Giants get to San Francisco.
All bets are off.
All bets are off. Our way, baby. Our way,
Okay.
baby. What is it? Our way. Right here.
You pushing merchandise?
Yes. Yes, sir. I am pushing merchandise. This is what we do.
Set aside one for me.
I got you.
Two more before we wrap it up. Lamar Jackson. So I think this is basically a divorce you can't reconcile. Do you think they tag him? Do you think they try to trade him? Do you think he walks in and he gets the bag or what?
He walks away and hits free agency and see what happens. I wouldn't do that if I'm him, because where does he go? Like, where are you gonna go? I don't know this. I don't know the situation with Tua in Miami. I do think he'll be back. I don't know the situation in Seattle with Geno Smith. I don't know that. I just think the best bet was for him to take whatever they offered him early on. Even it may not even be that much now, but I don't think his year was that prolific enough to give him what he wanted as far as dollars is concerned.
It looked like that until he got hurt, and he's missed 9 games in the last 2 years. And I think it was him coming out, or his PR people coming out on Twitter and basically sending a tweet where he's given an injury update because he was tired of people saying that he really didn't want to play, faking the dog in the injury, which, that's pretty harsh, man. It's a 4-year deal. He had the $4 million signing bonus, 7 guaranteed, average salary, 2.3, signed through 2021. I'm trying to look at the cap hit here. He wants guaranteed money, man. That's it.
That's not going to happen, Rich. The whole, someone like Deshaun Watson, that you're not getting that.
But that's what happened. And then the Baltimore, the ownership group, Bisciotti came out and said, kind of poo-pooed the deal that Watson got, which makes me think they're not going to give Lamar what he wants. I'll give you 2 teams, one down 95 in Washington. That'll open up the checkbook. And then the Jets. Got a defense, got playmakers. You're getting the running.
Snyder is not that stupid to open up the checkbook and give that much money. Make it all guaranteed.
Let me ask you something. Who say he's going to be the owner of that team come March?
He will be. Who wants
to push him out? You're going to have I'm marking this down. I'm just making it. In fact, you know what? No, I'm putting in a marker. Because that means
there's no way Snyder is going to sell that team, man.
I think the NFL is going to force him to sell the team because of all those.
Or what? You're not going to put him on the schedule?
No, you basically forced the guy to sell the team. The owners can agree to that. The owners agree to that.
How do you force someone to sell their team?
It's pretty simple. The NFL steps in because of all the investigations about the toxic culture and the environment and everything that happened within those doors. You are no longer fit to be an owner of an NFL team. All the other owners who he turned around and tried to conspire against and say, I got dirt on all these guys. Remember, he said, I got dirt on Jerry Jones, and everyone was thinking it was a photo from the 60s. This is the way this guy thinks. So Goodell's like, no, forget it. Sell the team. That's why you hear a bunch of people looking to potentially purchase the team.
Okay. All right. If you don't sell, then what?
Well, I don't know what the recourse is. They're not going
There
to
is
fold
none.
up.
He's going to be on the schedule because he's on the schedule now. He's on the schedule now, and it's not going to change. There's nothing they can do to make him do. It's just like Dana White. It's just like Dana White. Dana White could have suplexed his wife and put the Hulk Hogan leg drop on her, right? He was still going to be the owner or whatever it is at UFC, and it's never going to change. With no bullshit coming from it. That's the same situation. Owners and players do not get treated the same.
No, it's a fair point. And then Rogers was on with Pat McAfee, and I guess they were talking about what's next for you, the plan and whatnot. And he said, to kind of paraphrase, well, I can see myself winning, another MVP. And everyone threw their arms in the air because he didn't even mention, hey, we can win another Super Bowl. So when you hear comment like that from a guy like that, who, let's be honest, has proven he is a selfish, all about me, egocentric type of player, would that rub you the wrong way where you're saying, man, this guy's only interested in individual accolades? What about another Super Bowl?
That wouldn't rub me the wrong way. I mean, especially if I know him and know that's what he's about. I don't think so, man. I mean, guys carry themselves different. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not a team player and don't want to win the Super Bowl because he wants to win the MVP. You know what I mean? You just got to assure himself. He do his part, but make sure the team gets to the rest of the way. And if he wins MVP, he's done his part.
Listen, I got breaking news. He's coming back with Green Bay because of the money. He's not giving up.
You don't think he's on a so you don't think he's been sitting on the grill too long? He's going
to play
the drive. Like you said, he's cooked.
Yeah, he's cooked. But he's coming back at what, 50 something on million. He can cook all he wants. Not Russell Wilson cook, but yeah, because it's the money. He's not going to give that money up, man. So he's going to play it through, and all of a sudden, we got wide receivers and these guys are coming along and not a bad head coach. And the other thing is, look at that division, man. Chicago stinks. We've seen Minnesota's friggin' soft. The only team you have to worry about is biting kneecaps, the Detroit Lions. That's the only team. So pencil them in for 10, 11 wins right there and another shot at the playoffs.
I agree. I agree with you there.
Style.
That's just like, that's just like, what people talking about Dallas, like we talk about with Tampa. They went there to smash Tampa. That division is piss poor.
I know.
Piss poor. If I think the team who got a better chance to win that division next year will be the Carolina Panthers.
I agree. They got to get a quarterback.
They got to get a quarterback. Maybe Tom Brady can go there and be in Charlotte. Who knows? Your
Rams, definitely I can see Vegas. I can see maybe Miami. And also, why do you want to play in Florida, right? What do you not pay in Florida? What's it?
Taxes. But people say that though, Rich. So listen, I'm gonna tell you, people say that shit, but they're not paying the state taxes of that specific state. But it's so many other little bitty taxes that equal the same what state taxes would have been. It's not the same. It's there's no difference.
None?
There's no difference. No, not at all.
So if Miami came to you when you knew you had your already in play with the release from the Giants and whatnot, or Tampa, would you have played in Florida?
Yeah, I would have played in Florida. I would play wherever money is green, and that's everywhere. Heck yeah, I would have played in Florida. I love Florida. I wanted to move to Florida. I wanted to be in Florida already. But my son said he wanted to stay in Georgia, so that's what we did.
What part of Florida?
Anywhere in Florida, but I was more talking about Fort Lauderdale. Going to take him to American Heritage.
Yep.
There and let him play over there, and just live down there in sunny South Florida.
Yeah, well, I'll make you a promise. If you get there first, I'm coming. If I get there first, you guys can come. You can bring the whole kit.
You go.
Yeah,
Let's
but I
let's
mean,
do
you'll have to co-sign for the house. So, I'm just
it.
all right. So you like the Giants on Saturday night. Uh, my gut says it's going to be a close game, and my gut says it might come down to a field goal. One time I would love the football gods to just say, we're going to give it to you, because they are due against Philadelphia. But I understand the reality is it doesn't work like that. You still have to play.
Got to play the game.
27-26, the Giants went on a field goal.
I'll take it. As long as they win, I'll take it. But
Hey.
I got 28-24.
28-24 from the midman.
28-24. Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball late in the game with like 3 minutes on the clock. Driving to score because they'll need a touchdown. I got them hitting Jalen Hurts. He's coughing that thing up. I'm gonna say with about 3 minutes on the clock, we get the ball back and run the clock out.
That would be nice. I can live with that. Saquon sliding down and letting the clock run out.
And run a no score. Score.
All right.
Score. You'll be up by 10. You'll be up by 11 points. Score.
He is on location right across from the Bloodlines MetLife Stadium. All right, big man, as always, on location.
Hey, everybody, you know what time it is. Hey, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the great Giants game. Have good humanities. Love your neighbor. Respect your neighbor. And please, yes, sir. No, sir. Please and fucking thank you. You guys be easy. Enjoy your weekend. Go Giants.
For the two-time Super Bowl champ of the New York Football Giants, number 27, Brandon Jacobs. I'm Rich Quinones. As always, appreciate you guys checking out 27 and Q. Check out the YouTube channel. We'll put everything out later today on Twitter as well. Follow us on social. Have a good sports week. Enjoy the football. And of course, go Giants. Take it easy, big man. Always appreciate you.
All right, it was good to see you, man.
You too, brother.